Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to announce that this is going to be this is our third webinar, and this is going to be also the most attended webinar of our series, the IHE 2020 Hospitality Sector Series. This idea of IHE 2020 Hospitality Sector Series came up sometime back from Mr. Rakesh Kumar, our chairman, who said that there should be a continuous connect between IHE 2020, which is India's biggest hospitality sector B2B show, and the people who are part of our ecosystem. And we have been very fortunate to have some of the leading members of that ecosystem attend our webinars, the past two webinars. This is number 3, and we have gained a lot in terms of insights and knowledge. Without further ado, I will welcome the people who are on the sets. We have got Mrs. Jayashree Nagaraj from Bangalore. She's the president of the Association of Professional Housekeepers. We have got Mr. Nitin Nagarale from Mumbai. He's the founder, general secretary of the Hospitality Purchase Managers Forum. We have got Mr. Nirmal Khandelwal, a leading light of the industry. He's the chairman of FCML India.
No need.
He's also been a leading light of Hot Remai, and he has been the president of Hot Remai for several years. Again, a very important man to have in our midst. Then we have got Mrs. Ravinder Pal Srivastav.
Good morning to everybody.
Very, very good morning, Ravinder.
How are you, Jayashree ji?
Fine. Nice to see you here.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
And
nice to connect with everybody also.
Yes.
From the supplier side of the business, we've got Mr. Ish Madan, and we've got Preeti Sharma Gulati, who looks like the youngest member of the team here. She is from Hyatt Regency Delhi. Actually, without any delay, let us begin with Mr. Rakesh Kumar. He always has some interesting things to say in his welcome address. Mr. Kumar, the space is yours. And we have already 423 members registered in.
Thank you very much, Sarishji. Today, we have all eminent personalities from the hospitality sector. We have with us a panelist, Dr. Nitin Nagarale from HPMF, Mrs. Jayashree Nagaraj ji. I think someone has to mute. And the panelist, you have to mute your please phone. All of you have to mute the phone. That's otherwise bouncing. Yeah. So Dr. Nitin Nagarale, Mrs. Jayashree Nagaraj, Mr. Ravinder Srivastav ji, our stalwart of the industry, Mr. Nirmal Khandelwal ji, Ish Madan ji, Ajay Mehtani ji, and the young lady, Mrs. Preeti ji from Hyatt Regency. Friends, housekeepers have a stellar role ahead when hotels and restaurants reopen after the lifting of the lockdown. They will find themselves on the front lines of the hospitality sector, were to ensure it coronavirus free and to restore people's confidence in the hygiene standards of the hotels and restaurants they choose to visit. It is important to have this trust restored, because only then would hotels be able to get back the growing business of MICE and weddings. What housekeepers must have also realized is that the highest sanitary standards would now have to be maintained even in the public areas of the hotel and restaurants. For all this to happen, discussion must start in the industry for new SOPs to be in place, and it must take place well before the reopening of the hospitality sector. So greater role for our Jayashree ji and Ravinder ji, for both of you, and certainly a lot of procurement role is for our friend.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
So housekeepers must in fact now work in close coordination with their counterparts in the microbiology department, which has so far been seen as being focused entirely on food safety and on the personal hygiene of the cooking and serving staff. it is most likely that the housekeeping staff would now have to undergo the same scrutiny. Their personal hygiene is bound to be closely monitored. In view of the fluid situation, housekeeping decision makers will have to put their heads together and address some of the important questions in today's webinar. What are the new hygiene requirements likely to be in place for the hospitality sector post-COVID-19? How will they impact housekeeping operation in the room and in public areas? Will the new sanitary regime create a demand for the new technologies? What are some of the technologies on the horizon? How should procurement manager respond to the emerging market demands? Immediately, they would have to get suppliers of the sanitized tents, hand sanitize, and face masks organized on a massive scale. How do they plan to go about it? And most important out of that is, I think, which is very, very important for all of us in the hotels is, hospital sector is our safety measure. COVID-19, post-COVID-19, there's need to have some kind of a complete compliance and standard. And these compliance and standards should be the same for all the hotel, irrespective of the brand it is. So there should be minimum compliance and safety standard, which the entire industry has to accept it. And all the stakeholders of the industry, they should take this standard as the Bible of their hygiene mantra. So with these words, I would like now that Suresh, please take it forward with the eminent panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kumar. I will begin the day's proceedings with a question to Preeti Sharma Gulati. Preeti, please unmute your mic. Preeti, you are, you have the benefit of working in hospitals before you came to hotels. So you, a person with your expertise, is of critical importance in the post-COVID-19 era. What do you think should hotels learn from hospitals in view of the sanitary standards becoming more stringent than ever before? And I believe you're already in touch with hospitals to develop your own SOPs. What are the learnings you've got so far?
So Suresh, thank you for your question. And I'll start with a basic concept called infection control, which was diligently followed in hospitals. And today it is important that hotels replicate the same. Hotels earlier were a hygienic space, a high standard lodging that was previously provided, but in the new normal, the world is changing. Their expectation is changing. And as mentioned by Mr. Rakesh Kumar, we are now trying to build back the trust. So it's not just about building, it's two aspects working together. You have to bring your product to a level where there is sanitization, there is disinfection, there is infection control, and there is minimal cross-contamination. So these are the practices that we have to now bring about in our culture. Hospitals focused on microbiology, as mentioned earlier. So you have to make sure that there is infection control in your systems, in your protocols. Today, you have to have systems which are foolproof in their ways, so that from one room to another, everything has to be kept separate. The basic concept that we followed in hospitals was you do clean first and then dirty. You keep the clean separate from dirty. So your trolleys today have to be constructed in a way, or they have to be restructured in a way that every dirty thing is separate from the clean items. The use of gloves become irreplaceable today. So these are the things that now come into the picture, which were a norm at hospitals, but come to us today.
That's very important. So, so Jayashree, you heard Preeti, and there is clearly the role of housekeepers is becoming of paramount importance. You're no longer the faceless wonders working behind the scenes. But do you think housekeepers today have the capacity to undertake this task, or do you think they need to be re-educated? And what specifically is the Association of Professional Housekeepers doing, the Professional Housekeepers Association doing to respond to these circumstances?
Yeah, it's a very good question to ask, but the way Ms. Preeti has put it across was excellent, you know. But capability of housekeepers cannot be challenged, right? See, today we are unfortunately in this kind of a critical situation being faced by entire world, not only our country, but our country is in a very commendable position, being proactive. That is because the country's products, that is the citizens. Yeah, and the mantra of housekeeping is only, cleanliness. Cleanliness is not only Jadu Poncha, as you all know about it. Yeah, the housekeepers from the day one, ever since they join at the shop floor level till the corporate housekeepers, they have been grilled, they have been literally taught into their brain how well the cleanliness and hygienist and upkeepment of the properties have to be maintained. But you know, this is a teamwork actually. Now, how entire country is together, trying to face the challenge. Why this lockdown? Why this seal down and all is happening? See, that is how for our housekeeping committee also, for our fraternity also, collectively the support and the kind of upgradation in the training, education is required. It's a continuous education.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
and I also wanted to actually
yeah.
speak about what Ms. Preeti said. See, infection control is totally different. That is for healthcare division. So this infection control, maybe the hoteliers are not, maybe I'm saying, I'm not saying in general, not given so much of focus or importance attaching to housekeeping. And if you see in any property, a hotel property you're talking about, there is a kitchen stewarding, there is an housekeeping department. There are more than 2-3 departments which involved in cleaning and hygiene. Is it integrated? Is the entire team of HODs and above are on the same line, same thought process? So there has to be a revolution, there has to be a research, and all our corporate housekeepers, because most of our life members, most of our assets in my PHA are totally enriched by fully knowledgeable seasonal housekeepers with us. So I completely agree with your format because IHE is always goes with the quality, and of course our the best support HPMF Mr. Nitin ji always I'm sure agrees with me. We together have to work. Even last night we were discussing, we together need to work together, think together. See, right from the receiving area, right from the back deck to front gate, from the ceiling, from the rooftop to the basement, the alignment of thinking has to be same. So we need to work towards it. See, this webinar is a main tool. It's a main channel for each one of us to think together and help the fraternity, even around across 5,000 PHA Yuva members we have across the country. We can even feed the kids, the upcoming professionals with the proper guidelines, how to go about it, so that there is a uniformal thinking, whether it's a luxury division or single owned hotel, whether it's a healthcare or facility or aviation or hotel. So the process will be same and the standard is upmost.
Yeah, that's right. I think very good words. And Mr. Nagrale, as you were mentioned by Jayashree ji, so I'll, because I feel as Jayashree ji says, and I think we all feel that it has to be a cross-sectional, cross-departmental effort. It's almost like a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan Part 2, which we have to launch to make people convinced that they are going to a safe place to eat or to live in. Now, what is the role of the purchase managers in this, what I call the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan Part 2?
Yeah, okay. First of all, I want to say namaskar to everyone. My name is Dr. Nitin Nagrale. I'm the founder and general secretary of Hospitality Purchasing Management Firm. We have about 48 chapters within India, and we have chapters in Middle East, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Nepal. So we have over 3,600 members all over, and our major objective is development of procurement professionals. So this COVID-19 has given us a new life. All of us and purchasing have started thinking that what we have not done, we need to do it now. When I was talking to Jayashree ma'am last night, We spoke about for about 45 minutes last night at about 1:30, and we both of us were thinking that how can we make this panel more interactive and more interesting for people, because everybody, whether you are a hotelier, you're an industrialist, you're a civilian, you're a housewife, housemaker, everybody is talking about COVID-19. So how can we make this more interesting and useful for the fraternity? So today, when we are talking about the housekeeping department per se, I'm saying there are 2 or 3 departments who will be exposed to a larger extent, and housekeeping is going to be one of them, and majorly them. Then security, engineering, and I would also call procurement, because all these departments, if they put things in place correctly, then it's going to be easy for all other departments to work properly. So it could be front office, it could be F&B service, it could be any other department, but it has to be a security person who would stop things at the entry. It has to be housekeeping person who stops at the hotel's entry, and then thereafter it's the things are taken care from there on. So today, when I was talking to one of my friends of the owner of Charnock, and I asked him what is new which is coming. I also spoke to Bill, and I was doing some research on sealed air. So when I was looking at things, I realized that everybody is considering this as new normal, as Preeti said, and it's going to be survival instinct which everybody has to have to make things happen. When I was talking to some of the panelists today, I told them that if things don't improve in Mumbai, wherein people still continue to go out, I'll be the one who will be sitting in home for a longer time. So people outside will have to stop going out and mixing and stopping those social distancing measures. So they'll have to start following the norms set by the government of India and WHO. So then people like us who are sitting at home, I have not moved out of my house since 22nd of March. I don't go out at all. I put on a lot of weight, and I feel very uneasy and unhealthy. But then I'm trying to follow things. So I'm utilizing this time to create. So if you talk about HPMF, all of us have come together and created a knowledge series, and we are trying to teach every purchasing professional through experts of every other department on how can we add value to the department, to the organization. So we are creating an SOP for us to follow, which will help the organization to a larger extent. We are at the end of this knowledge series, we'll also create a white paper, which will become a manual for everybody else. So there is no brand, there is no competition. Everybody has come together, and all of us are working like family to help each other. And I think this is what everybody has to do in the fraternity.
Yeah, I think everyone in the industry needs guidance from organizations such as HPMF and PHA, because that alone will tell us which way do we move forward to. So, Ravindra Palji, I wanted to ask you, could you unmute your mic, please? I wanted to ask you that, like for instance, all of us talk about hand sanitizers, we all talk about sanitary masks and, sanitization tents, but, the market doesn't have enough of these, so how do you plan to, make good the shortfall and also ensure that these amenities are available in your hotel? Or, hotels, say ITC is a very big chain, to make these available in all the 125 odd hotels of ITC, is a big mammoth task. Are you all working together towards this?
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for asking me the question. The point is regarding the basic requirement to the hygiene for, as you mentioned about the gloves and the mask. The mask is a very, very easy thing. We should see in the beginning, we procured it from the market. Everybody procured from the market. And the market, you have seen the kiosks there, that masks were not available to the people who are actually required it. So the mask is a very basic thing which can be prepared by everybody at their home. So to contribute to all this, the ITC, of course, not only ITC, I believe in other hotels as well, everybody has taken the task, even small NGOs have taken the task in their hand, and they are making the masks as per the requirement, as per the laid down guidelines. Basically, mask has to be of a 2 to 3 layers, which is your air from the mouth should not fuse the light,
reach out,
right? The burning, that air should not come out. So that is the basic standard to make a mask. So everybody, even the small NGOs, even in Tihar jail, people are making the masks and doing it. So mask is not going to be a problem anywhere. We have distributed to our city as well, to police department, to even to police department as well as to hospitals. Anybody is coming and crossing the gate of our hotel, we give them the mask. We just want them to be safe. So it is my people, my team are the unsung heroes who are doing the smallest help to this COVID-19. So procurement and all is I mean, in the next future time is not going to be any problem for anybody. The beginning was the chaotic thing, how, when, what, but later everybody got the solution. So any crisis or anything which is giving us the light of innovating new things.
You know, I got received a question which says that when we talk about in-room hygiene, ducting and air conditioning ducting is a very important point.
Very important. I have I'll just share it with you now here. First, we were talking about the mask and the gloves. Now, when we are talking about the sanitization of any area, the sanitization, as it's been rightly said by Ms. Jeshri, is not one of the jobs. Sanitization is of each area from your premises entering, you are entering to the premise, as well as of the roads, as well as of the buildings, as well as of all the households. Now, I will limit it to the hotels only, where we are talking about every hotel has to, all the walls of the periphery and all the surfaces has to be sanitized. Now, how to do this sanitization? The sanitization is very, very important with the high pressure pumps, with the actual chemical, and it's a basic chemical available in the city, in all the factories, all the areas, which is a sodium hypochlorite. Sodium hypochlorite is not other than the chlorine. Okay, chlorine do have the other things as well, but the main ingredient is sodium hypochlorite. Now, spray of these with 1% of solution, all the surfaces are going to eradicate or kill the germs or the virus, whatever is settled on that surface. But the other point is, this chemical is not good for the human being. So that is very important, how we have to segregate the thing which is live and which is not live. I'm live when I'm talking about, even if you start doing to your pets, that is not safe. So because it has got a chlorine. So chlorine is in some formulation is accepted by the body, but a recurring use by the body or by anything, by surfaces of human surfaces, is not safe. So for that, we have to use the chemical which is of an alcohol base.
Right.
Now, in alcohol-based chemicals are in a thinner, in a dilution of 70 to 30 or 60 to 40, can be sprayed, and which we have to carry out all over.
Right.
So I am talking about in hotel industry, starting from the entry of the hotel,
right,
with the human, whether it is a, it's a vast subject actually.
Right.
When you are getting when you are getting into the hotel, I'm just sticking to entry point of the hotel. You have a receiving, you have security, you have
front
vendors
office.
coming in.
Yeah.
No, I am talking about
Okay,
entry of the
right at
backside
the
right now.
right at
Yeah.
the exactly. Yeah.
Right. So the second part comes about any supplies, any courier, anything comes to hotel, any small thing, whether it is my belonging, if my purse, my, you know, if I am coming to hotel, my bag, my purse, my laundry bag, anything has to go through the small zone where it has to be disinfected.
Yeah.
That has to be a new norm which has to be adopted in few months has to come into our DNA.
So every hotel must have a disinfection zone.
Yes, it
Or a
has to
tent,
be
you know.
made.
Yeah.
Yes. And now when we are talking about you have sanitized. No, when you have sanitized, sprayed, you cannot take out that material immediately from there. You have to keep it stored for some time.
Right.
Now, the limit, the researchers have to give me what is the actual time I have to store that material, because it will be having a different type of thing. Then it, of course, the human being has got a spray of alcohol-based sanitizers.
Right.
Then they can move. The washing hands, wearing gloves. Now, the gloves, when we talk about, I have seen in India, people use gloves and they just keep using it.
Right. Right.
Glove is the point which has to be, if you have used once and you have gone to a public place or crossed through a public place, whether you have touched any surfaces or not, you have to discard it.
Yeah.
Now that is one point which has to go in everybody's brain, everybody's bloodstream, everybody's DNA.
Right. Right.
So this is what the hotels. Now, when we talk about the sanitization, about the first, the main entry from where the guest is going to come.
Yes.
The guest also, anybody whosoever is coming to hotel has to be through the chamber of sanitization.
Right.
And it is mandatory for him gloves and the mask. Mask is the first thing which is very important. But gloves, if the guest if the guest is coming without the mask and without the glove, the first thing he is entering, he is standing, he is putting his baggage, anything, the hotel or any of the hotel has to provide a mask, and because it is not of his safety, it is my own safety as well. You are coming to me, though you are going to pay me today or tomorrow, but I need my safety first. So I have to provide them the glove. Please wear gloves and please pay. And this will be accepted after little bit of resistance. People will be resistant to wearing a glove. People will be resistant to wearing a mask.
Right. You know,
so this is the starting point.
I will cut you here. I'll come back to you. Because what you're saying is you're almost laying down the SOP for hotels and
it is mandatory. Yes, you have to.
I mean, this is the new normal we're talking about, you know.
New normal, yes.
Yeah. So I'll go to Mr. Khandelwal and I'll come back to you, Mrs. Srivastava. Mr. Khandelwal, good morning. You know, you've been hearing the other panelists. Now, as a supplier, you know, your responsibilities also increase, you know, like what Mr. Srivastava was just saying, that you're on an almost daily basis, you're supplying material to the kitchen, you know. In fact, one of the persons has just, one of our audience members has just mentioned the point about napkins and tablecloth, how, you know, I mean, there's no limit to the number of carriers of a virus of this nature. Now, what are you going to do as a supplier to make sure that from your end, the chances of transmission of a virus like this is minimized?
Thank you, Sarishji. Good afternoon, everyone. We are in quite difficult situation. I'm talking concerned with the hospitality industry today. To regain the confidence of the customers, they have the biggest challenge. Even after the lockdown is over, people will be still scared to move into the hotels, go to the restaurants, because of their scare that so many people in the hotels are coming so many goods are coming in from various different vendors, and how well they are sanitizing it. How can they be sure that they eat their food in the hotel or they go and stay in the hotel, they will not come across the contamination. The hotels have to rewrite the book, control books, rewrite their manuals for everything and everything, whatever they have been doing for the sanitization, for the hygiene, for the cleaning process. However, as a vendor, I will like to tell you that it is our responsibility. Every goods which are going to the hotels, we have to sanitize them first and make sure that the delivery boys are passing through all the possible hygiene standards before leaving the warehouse. Even the vehicles which are going has to be sanitized every day and after every delivery. And the boys have to be again sanitized after every delivery. They have to carry the mask, they have to carry the sanitizer, they have to carry the gloves, and make sure that they don't become a tool to spread the virus to anyone else. However, after the lockdown, the biggest challenge which I feel for the hotel industry is they will take at least 10 to 12 to 18 months before they can really regain the confidence of the customer. And there where the challenges are much more. Till the time the vaccine is not found for this virus, people will be still scared entering the hotels and restaurants so that they are not get the virus from the hotels and restaurants. There where the challenge is much, much bigger.
Right. I think the whole, there's a crisis of confidence right now.
Yes, because once if I enter the hotel as a customer and I see the sanitization or the measures taken by the hotels are of the top standards, I love to go there again. If I see, I'm talking as a customer today, right now, if I see that if I'm entering from the main lobby and I see this first, the luggage which is entering, before the entering to the lobby or before entering to the guest area, it is first sanitized outside in the porch only. After that, the guest, as was said by Mr. Chaudhary, the guest has to be sanitized. Every surface which is initially coming in touch with the customer is sanitized or is cleaned after every few minutes, like the front office, the reception counter, or the lobby manager desk, or the bell boy desk has to be sanitized at least every 15 to 20 minutes. So guest gains the confidence that this hotel is maintaining the best standards of hygiene and sanitization. This is very, very important.
But and I think a multi-departmental effort must be on to promote the fact not only to implement these SOPs but also to make people aware that these SOPs are in place.
You see, that's why I said that we have to rewrite the rule book. Every hotel has to rewrite the whole book. All HODs, all departments have to rewrite their SOP. What is the need of the hour and how they have to now further gain the confidence of the customers. And there where they will succeed, and in turn we will succeed. We are also equally bigger problem. If hotel don't become normal or the restaurant doesn't become normal earlier, we will be totally doomed. So our responsibilities are also increasing, and we will learn from them what are the SOPs, what they have designed, what is the new rule book, and they have to inform all the vendors also that this is the new format you have to follow before your vehicle or your goods enter the hotel.
Right. So, Mr. Madan, now, can you hear me, Mr. Madan? And can you unmute your mic, please?
Yeah, it's done, Sorish. Yeah, thanks.
Hi. So can you tell me a bit about what you are doing, as a company, and in the new, sort of what everyone's talking about, the post-COVID-19 era, what do you plan to do to promote this whole culture of hygiene and sanitation, you should, and the fact that you should not be doing it, but you should also be seen as doing it.
Mhm. Thank you so much. First, I would like to start with a gesture, Namaskar. This is the only thing that we don't have to change into hospitality sector. So the world is also accepting this, it's a first SOP rule that we have to do, don't touch social distancing. I would like to thank the panelists and the Sorish, so that, you have given me the opportunity to be the part of this, the time that the crises are going on. So let me introduce myself. My name is Ish Madan, and currently I'm working with Rubbermaid Commercial Products. So we are a global leading brand in housekeeping, F&B, and washroom solutions. So when you say housekeeping, so we are into housekeeping trolleys and wringer trolleys and all that stuff, and F&B, kitchen product and washroom solutions. So everybody's talking about, sanitization and cleaning of the hand, washing your hand for 20 minutes, etc., etc. So we as a company, we have been promoting this practice since ages. So we are providing soap dispensers, we are providing seat sanitizers, so we are providing automatic, non-automatic, so different kind of products are available. So we are a part of big conglomerate based out of US. So we have more than 28 brands in the world. So the couple of brands, the audience and the panelists would be aware of that. Renault pens is our brands. So Waterman pen is my brand. Sharpie is my brand. So then we are into baby products, outdoor sports goods, home appliances, so on and so forth. Before I begin my, the statement, I would like to start with the Punjabi Ardas. Couple of people in the panel would understand. So Nanak Naam Chaddi Kala Tere Pane Sarbat Da Pala. To put this into the concise and a clear language, it means that we desire, we pray and ask God for the well-being of all the humanity, prosperity for everything in the worldwide community, and global peace for the entire planet. So there is no word that can reduce the tough time. The lockdown has got extended, but today we are living in a global mess. So as per the IMF, the world has come under recession. The next question would be, so what do we do now? Should we crib or should we prepare? I think 100% would agree with me. We have to prepare ourselves in this crisis. So the crises are inevitable, and some crises may be avoided and some may be managed well enough to limit the long-term damage. But at the end of the day, every organization, every nation will experience a crisis of some magnitude. It is often that, the handling of a crisis that leads to more damage than the crisis even does itself, actually. So we as a company, so we are, working very closely with the healthcare sector as well as the hospitality sector. So we have had privilege to work with the healthcare sector. So Preeti would understand more because she had a background from the healthcare sector. So we have provided some solution to the Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital in Bombay, and for the cleaning of the floors and disinfection areas. So a couple of my housekeeping cars has been, they are using my cars into the IC units there. So we are very proud of that. And we have done a couple of projects with ITC, Kohinoor, for the housekeeping trolleys and all that stuff. So so we are supplying our products to the hospitals also through
Ish, sorry to cut you in, but now you just mentioned housekeeping trolleys.
Yes.
And if you remember, Preeti talked about the need to segregate housekeeping trolleys, What are the new generation of housekeeping trolleys that are coming in?
So it's a very good question because, for a hospitality sector, I think for them, housekeeping trolley is just a housekeeping trolley. But for me, it's my baby. So I have to take care, my baby is more developed, more advanced in the coming years to come. So like I told you, since we have been doing into healthcare and hospitality sector both, so when we are working onto the chamber room trolleys, so we take care, whatever couple of elements that have been used by healthcare sector, if we can implement similar into the hospitality sector as well. So this is how we have a great team of R&D sitting out of US, and they keep on working day and night. I mean, in this crisis as well, so that how we can segregate the waste, which is very important. Yeah, I think eminent panelists, they have been discussing, how we can segregate the waste very thoroughly and very diligently, so that the infection does not, travel from one point to another point. So we have to be very careful if we are using a material handling trolley where we are bringing the major stuff from the back door area to the front door area of hospitality. The product has to be very, very efficient. So I just tell you, for example, so we work with the Burger King. So we have supplied youth baby chairs to them. The Rubbermaid Burger King chairs that we have supplied to them, they are antibacterial. So now we are talking about, cross-contamination and infection of traveling on the infection. but we have been using this practice, I don't know since how many years.
So antibacterial chairs are going to find more takers now, I guess.
Hopefully, yes. I mean, we have been initially, we had some challenges in convincing the people why you should buy this. But I think the life will be comparatively easier for a supplier like us because we have been doing this, since so many years. But yes, the people now has understood the importance of cleanliness. So, the government has run the, Swachh India plan and other activities also. So everybody knows what is right and what is wrong, what is black and what is right. But now the thing is to accept it and do the implementation at a ground level. This is what I can say.
Right, exactly. So, Mrs. Nagraj, you've heard the panelists, now as an association, what are you doing to promote this knowledge or this cross-pollination of ideas among professional housekeepers?
Okay, so that question to me, Suresh.
No, that is for Mrs. Nagraj. Jayashree.
Sure.
Jayashree ji, not Nagrale. Jayashree ji, we have to unmute your mic, please.
Am I audible now?
You're audible now, yes.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, what I was asking you is that you heard the fellow panelists, you've heard so many ideas coming up. From sodium hypochlorite to segregation of housekeeping trolleys. What are you doing as an association to promote this new body of knowledge or existing body of knowledge which has been sort of relegated to the background from coming to the front and to be known to all your members?
All right. See, from Professional Housekeepers Association, since 5 years, we have been, trying to educate all our fraternity members at the national level. Is the same. We conduct a lot of learning and development sessions. We do a lot of research. As I already told you, more than 150 like members all over India, more than 3,500 UA members all over India, and our vendor members, Mr. Kandalwal, and many more genius who are always with us, and we keep in touch with each other. See, whatever you do, what I believe as an association, that whatever we do, okay, we invite our all the housekeepers, we invite the community, okay, we go all out to conduct all kind of a learning and development session, and everything is fine. When my associates, when my invitees, they come, they learn, they gain knowledge, and they go back in their particular property, in their particular organization, the acceptance level has to be there at the same time, and they need to reciprocate to the housekeepers. I'm not saying in particular, in general, most of the time I'm saying it has to make sense. And it is because today we are at this situation and we are talking about contingency plan. But housekeepers, if you have observed and if you have come across in your experience also, housekeepers by nature, they are very proactive. They are always very possessive on their property and their department, and they are very sincere in following the instructions given by the top management. With these credentialities, what I feel, anything I go out of the way as an housekeeping professional, learn things and implement in my property, there has to be a teamwork, one. And secondly, as a Professional Housekeepers Association, what we are striving is to make it as a certifying body in coming years. When I say certifying body, there are...
that is okay, but what I'm talking about are specific actions related to...
Correct. That's what I'm coming to, sir. That is what I'm coming to here. When we're talking about trolley, when we're talking about gloves, when you're talking about any one specific product which is used by housekeeping industry, there has to be standardization. Okay, you're talking about any sanitization process. Okay, all that kind of a big luxury division properties can afford to. Can our 3-star properties, which is more than 95% in India now, is a single owner hotel property. If you educate, if the government helps us through our association, can educate the top level management or all housekeeping verticals, because our association caters all aviation, facilities, healthcare, hotel, hospitality, everywhere housekeeping is there, we would like to develop.
Right.
So we also need a support from our colleagues, or as HPMF is always there out of the way to help us out. Okay, trolley. Mr. Kadalwal is talking about these products. Okay, Mr. Aman, I think, spoken about his
Madan,
Rubbermaid. Yeah, Rubbermaid, definitely PHA is always recognized as one of the best products. But then go out of the way, take your time, meet up our, because we are also all over India, meet up our chapters, standardize it. We are here. I am here as a housekeeping true well-wisher to accept it. We will take it as a challenge. We will standardize it. For that, we need a support.
Yeah, I think I don't know, I'm throwing this idea to Mr. Rakesh Kumar also. Maybe there is a need for us to have learning sessions, more in-depth learning sessions. And now that, we have been afforded this medium to communicate with each other, we need to have learning sessions, because I think there are a lot of things already present, which a lot of people are not aware of. There's also a problem of, you're talking about small hotels, or even, we're not even talking about heritage hotels, for instance, what do they do there in some remote part of the country, and, how do they manage such the raised expectations of the guests? Now, Mr. Nagrale, because, the procurement section always has to bear the brunt of both the owners who demand that the bottom line be maintained, and then there are expectations from customers and from the departments. So now let us come to specific. Can you name 2 or 3 products which you will see will become very important in the post-COVID-19 era?
Yeah. All right. Okay. First of all, I want to get back to the discussion with Jayashree ma'am and you had. What I want to recommend is all of us will have to come together now in next 10 days. And Mr. Rakesh Kumar will have to facilitate that to us, wherein nobody else should reinvent the wheel. Everybody is working on their own, and everybody is doing the same efforts again and again and again. So all of us, let's come together, create a benchmark, create best practices, and give it to the industry so that everybody follows that, rather than wondering whether I should use this product, should I not use it, what will happen if I use the sanitation tunnel. So it's now the industry leaders are sitting. Let us create that documentation and circulate to the world, whichever association you are from.
I quickly have some questions I'm noticing, For instance, already we're talking about the sanitization tent,
Yes.
Now, someone has mentioned, apparently the government has said it is not needed, and then the second, there's a lot of criticism of sodium hypochlorite. People are talking about SUMA D10, it could be preferences. So, coming back to what you're saying, there are also a lot of differences of opinion on the same remedies, So,
yeah, you don't have to think about all of this. You should think about how do I manage my home, my office, my guests. And if that is being done together by just following the best practices, it's going to be easy. So 2 or 3 things which are going to be important is, first of all, maintaining the self-hygiene. Everybody will have to ensure that they maintain the self-hygiene. Hence, your chemical soap solutions, hand sanitizers will become absolute in demand. Secondly, it's important that the equipment which will start detecting the virus will become important. There will be a spray machine which will become very important, wherein you're not going to be able to sanitize everything on your own in terms of taking a piece of cloth or using sanitation chemicals, and so spray machines will definitely become very, very important. Then those the guns which we use to identify the temperatures, they will be in higher demand. Everybody will have to have them at the receiving, at the security, at the lobby, at different levels, including spa and things like that. So there will be
will guests agree to being tested?
Everybody will have to do it. They have no choice.
Right.
There is no 2 ways, because if I don't protect myself first, I will not be able to protect anybody else. So if the guest doesn't permit, to be tested, then I don't think the guest should be allowed to get inside the premises. Every organization will have to be very, very strict with that. So all of this is going to become very important. And most important is going to be the human resource, Saurishta, wherein everybody needs to know that what you are doing is not for your self-interest, but for the community and for the nation and for the world. So please follow instructions which WHO and the country Mr. Modi is giving. If you do that, it's going to be helping everyone at large.
Right. So, Preeti, coming back to, because there's some questions for you. Now, people are asking, when you're talking about no infection, hotels, how do you actualize it on the ground?
Actualizing the concept of...
how do you implement the idea of no infections on the ground?
See, today, like Jayashree ma'am has already mentioned, that we as housekeepers are already doing quite a bit over the years, and we are all seasoned that way. Today, the challenge is that whatever were the practices, there are just a few top-ups to those practices, but that has to be inculcated in the last person as well. So the people on the shop floor, they have to be trained. So what we are doing in our hotel is we're doing really small groups. I am in-house now. And rather than taking up big training sessions and trying to give it from a distance, we rather have really small group of people. Someone becomes a guest, someone becomes the housekeeper, and you get into that actual role play. So when we are talking of the gloves to be changed, you're talking of someone enters the room, clears the garbage, clears the linen. He's already touched something that is probably dirty or contaminated. That very moment you change your gloves, and you tend to remove those in the presence of the guest. Then you've already taken care of the secondary aspect of winning his trust over. So the first step was of sanitization. The second was winning his trust. Then the person wears a fresh pair of gloves and then starts with the whole activity of making the bed, finishing off the room in all aspects, and then moving to the bathroom. So here, these are the little steps which also comes through CDC guidelines. It's an American agency for clinical norms that we get. So it's about making those practices our new normal. You have to keep things separate. The set of dusters that are used in your bathroom cannot be the same that you used in your room. You are talking of an added expense of 2 pairs of gloves per room. So these things, they were not there. Today, you are talking of certain expenses. You're talking of the right set of chemicals as mentioned by Ravindra ma'am. So you have to have the right chemicals, the same practices with just a few top-ups, and we are all good to go.
Right.
Even if someone is wearing a mask, the mask is not taken off till the time the person proceeds for his next break, which apparently would be a tea break or a lunch break. And then you have to keep yourself protected, that every time you're taking off your gloves, you have washed your hands and you're only touching it from this point. You do not, and you have to not contaminate your gloves by keep touching it even from the outside, because when you're removing it, you tend to, there are masks that come with 100-hour validities, 80-hour validity, but then you have to use them correctly. Because these are the new expenses that we're talking about. But
so, hotels have to make this, they have to spend this money on.
We have to spend that money, we have to accept it. And eventually, yes, it will become a part of our P&L. Probably there will be things that will be completely shoved off. There'll be things that will be introduced, and we have to accept it with open arms today, because that is the need of the hour. The safety of our associates today, like said by Ravindra ma'am, is more important, and then only can I be serving a guest and winning his trust over. Today, the guest is scared. He's scared to come and stay in a hotel. I have to make him believe in me and believe that what I'm doing is safe for him. So these change of gloves, washing of hands, it is essential.
So Ravindra Palji, coming to you, you already had almost given a, like a walkthrough from the back area to the front area. But now you had reached the critical area when I think I moved on to another question. The critical area is of the guest interaction. Now, how will you ensure that this area is well taken care of?
Guest interaction area, when we are talking about, is at different levels. at the entrance, at the reception, at the restaurant, at the floor when the guest is in the room, right? With the room attendant who is going to serve the room. So here we have to first of all has to minimize it. That's one point. So when we are talking about
is there a technological solution available
yes,
there?
yes,
We
there
sort
will
of
be.
end the
There
idea of guests going to the desk and checking in, where they can just check in
here. Yes. See, the point is the technology has to come in, right? In India, we do not have. Yes, and the other places we were having, there was one card which was having a chip, but that kind of a development will take a lot of time to implement by others. And that has to be, again, everybody has to check in through the Marriott has got the standard.
That's right.
So that is already in place. But in India, in Asia, do we implement that? At present, I am not doing. At present, none of our hotels in India are implemented that, right? We had RFID system as well, with the guest wherever is passing through, we come to know that the guest is there. He has a chip in his credit card and he is able to open and register it. But that is still not practical in India. By the time it will be, that will be, I mean, we are talking about after 2 years, basically it will come. Or maybe, because it's infrastructure, everything we have to see that. But few of the things of minimizing the contact can be done. Will be, well, we want to have the lock, the key, which is non-touch, right? But right now, when we open it, even after a 1 month's time, is it feasible? We'll say no. We can get those technology by the time. But what we have to do right now when we open in 20 days or 25 days or 10 days, any of the 20 days basically. So when we are opening it up, how can we minimize it? Minimization is, yes, the person who is going to have the entry, the pen which has been given to him to sign, which is mandatory as per the law on the registration card, the pen has to be, again given a confidence that the pen is sanitized. Whether I do it in front of the guest or whether I make sure that the pen is, taken it out from the sanitization box. So the guest is signing. So there's no interaction much of it. Basic interaction again has to be done with the wearing a mask. After that, we have to again change of a SOP that people used to be, when taken to the rooms, we used to be doing the rooming. Somebody is escorting to the guest. That has to be totally avoided. The lifts, same as Mr. Khandelwal said, we have to give the trust that after some time, a few minutes even, every guest usage, we have to sanitize the lift buttons. People have given a very nice thing of a toothpick and putting it up. Those can be done into the back of the house areas, but in front of the guest, we cannot do that. So we have to sanitize it. Now, when we're talking about the many places are sanitizing, it is very, very important to have the tools with us. We have to have the steam machines, handy steam, small steam machines, having UV machines. So you have not to use the chemical all the time. The UV machine is immediately disinfecting the area, whether it is a lift button or the entire lift or the railings or the tabletops. So the UV will be definitely is going to be, because in some time you have to avoid the chemicals as well. Right. Today we are talking about the chemicals, but tomorrow we have to have something which is not chemical.
If you see
chemicals, you can't use it.
A lot of the responses that are coming up are
so
like
I will be completing it one point here. I'll be the steam machines, which is again the water. We have to very important to clean our ducts, AC chutes and ducts, which is very important to use the ozonization. Ozone treatment can, of course, kill all kind of germs and the viruses and bacteria in the hidden, because that area cannot be clean. And the suits over a period of times are developed with the dust there. The steam cleaning machine, misting machine, small chemical swashes which has been introduced to clean the small surfaces.
Right.
And the Virex, that's a virus is also, there's a small kind of a swashes which has been used, which is again alcohol based for telephone and the other surfaces to sanitize. These small things which we have to inculcate in our daily processes.
Right. Thank you so much. I think you have almost laid down the SOP for hotels. You know.
Thank you so much.
I would be, I'd be grateful if you could write these points down and send it to us. You know, we can then put it up on our website, and then people can share it. You know, this is a very important point. And the same for Preeti, you have also made some important points. You know, if you could just mention them and send them as an email. You know, just bullet points, not very elaborate points, which we can play up and share. You know? So, Khandelwal ji, you have heard, all these points. Khandelwal ji, please unmute your mic. Yeah. Now that you've heard the experts, the people on the ground speak, what do you think, Hotrimai will have to do to respond to these demands, the new demands of the industry?
I thank to all the panelists. They have given some very useful suggestions. And with IHE, when it has been said that they should do some knowledge sessions, I think we further enhance the experience of everyone and knowledge of every smaller hotel also. My only suggestion is that whatever now we are doing and whatever the actions are being taken by the hotel and will be taken by the hotel, I feel very strongly that they will become a permanent situation. Like after the Bombay hotel attack, the security became a permanent feature with every hotel. Similarly, now the new hygiene and sanitization standards will also become a permanent situation with all the possible hotels and restaurants. And in times to come, it is good for the mankind. It is good for your guests. It is good for your promoting your organization better. However, as a Hotrimai, I would like to say one thing, that is the need of the hour. Now people have to choose in the industry. The product, because you are having some other additional expenses coming in because of all the new standards of sanitization and hygiene, the product which you choose, you have to be very, very specific about them. You have to ultimately look into the products which doesn't eat into your operating profits. Select a product which is a little more expensive, maybe initially, but in long run, in 5 years, you have no maintenance expense. You have reduced electricity power expense. You have reduced laundry expense. And there are enough products available like that, which ultimately, just to give you an example, say carpet. There is a carpet available which we also sell, that we recommend a shampoo of a banquet carpet after 1 year. However, the industry standard is every 20 days. Now, these are certain technologies which have come up in last 5-7 years and which helps you saving a lot of operating profits. Hotrimai members can give all the input on these products anytime it is so required, or within the knowledge sessions, they can also apprise you with that. Like table linen and the napkins, we can, some members can offer you, or I can offer you a napkin which can last you more than 600 washes, whereas the normal napkin doesn't last you more than 80 washes. Now, product like this has to be taken into consideration to take care of your additional expenses and additional manpower which you may have to employ for taking care of the present need, and which will become a standard, ultimate standard in the industry.
Right. I think very, very useful suggestions again. Ish, as you say, you're like the last but not the least. Let's sort of please unmute your mic. And so now tell me, we heard some very, very, I think the second half of our discussion was all about specifics, and Mr. Khandelwal just talked about, new, technologies, a new material coming into the market. Now, one thing that always concerns me, because you mentioned carpeting, I always feel carpeting and upholstery are where most of the germs accumulate. Now, I don't know, like, are there technologies available today which sort of ensure that if we sit on a sofa, it will be completely germ-free, or the carpet beneath our feet will be absolutely germ-free? Is it possible?
Can I say something here?
Okay, Khandelwal, please.
Yeah. You see, as far as the carpeting is concerned, that yes, we can ensure the new technology which is there. It is germ-free. It improves your air quality. It helps you in getting the LEED certification within the for the hotel, which I mean, recently one of the hotels in Calcutta, ITC Hotel, where we have done the carpeting, they asked for it, and ultimately helps them in getting the LEED certification. So, you see, knowledge of the product has become very, very important as we are used to a particular brand or a particular specification of any item. With the new technology and with new knowledge session, we should come up. All the vendors have a lot of new products, lot of new technology. Nagaralaji, I'll tell you that till yesterday you were buying sugar from Dorala Sugar Works, but today they are the biggest manufacturers of the sanitizers, which you may not be aware of.
Alcohol,
Alcohol.
By
There are number of garment manufacturers who are come in big way in giving you the mask and the gloves, which is the need of the
They are
hour.
making suits as well.
Yeah, they are making suits as well.
Yes.
And there are new companies which have come in for the air purification. You see, today, few of the hotels last 2 years have since the pollution started in a big way, you maintain the air quality within the hotel, and there's a big sign in the lobby. Now it has to become a practice with every possible hotel to give the confidence to the guest. Yes, this hotel, when I'm entering a safe environment.
On a lighter note, there's plenty of alcohol available now in the market, because people are drinking much less than before. So,
if you need, I can send you some.
Sorry, sir. I would like to, compliment what Mr. Khandelwal has just said. He said very rightly, we have to be very careful that, the product that we are using, they are as per the international standard, and it has some kind of backup from the WHO also. As of now, so a lot of my products, for example, Rubbermaid, if I talk about, because I'm representing Rubbermaid, my products are LEED certified. So you're talking about the hand sanitizers or soap dispensers and a couple of other products also. So one thing is for sure that, that nothing is permanent. So is this current health situation all around the world. The world will go back to normal. And as a global hospitality industry has been gone through every perceivable calamity over the past decade, be it earthquake, tsunamis, tornadoes, major floods, terror attacks, and global recession, epidemics, so on and so forth. But it has come out. So, almost every country has been affected by this devastating coronavirus diseases. PHA, ma'am, Ms. Jayeshi ma'am rightly said we have to mount united response to COVID-19 pandemic. At the same time, we should not lose the sight of longer term goals as well. Of course, we have to run the operations, we have to support each other, and we have to take care then of which are the key elements enabling the economies to survive and recover once the storm is passed. This is what I can say always.
Do you think, because Nagaralaji, I'll ask you this question, which has just come in, Do you think there is a need or there is already a government agency or some independent agency to verify the sanitary, SOPs that will be in place in various hotels and restaurants and banqueting halls for that matter? Is there a need for an independent agency?
I couldn't hear it clearly.
Is there a need for an independent agency or maybe a government agency to certify the various sanitary and hygiene SOPs that are in place in hotels, restaurants, and banqueting halls?
Yeah. So first of all, every housekeeper is an authority on this, but then collectively associations like PHA and IPHA will definitely come up with standards, and I'm sure there will be a business for a lot of these consultants to come out and start monitoring the sanitation and hygiene levels. So it will come in. Even what Government of India, Health Department and WHO is saying, you will be safe. Only it's important that people should follow. One point which I want to make, Saurish, here is one, companies like Rubbermaid, and larger companies which come in from international destinations will have to come forward and provide us pricing which is affordable now, because we will not be able to afford what they have been offering, because the need is changed. It's become mandatory. It's become an essential product. So it's important that as a buyer, I should approach, because I'm in a dilemma now. I'm in a situation wherein I need to have a product, but then I don't have a revenue here. And then the owners and the management wants us to have product at a cheaper price because there is no income at all. So hence, it's important that the smaller suppliers are also taken care of. We call them, educate them, inform them, develop them, and utilize their services, which helps the industry. So it's important that everybody will have to take into one fold under our arms. We all will have to help each other and grow from there. So one point which I want to make here is to all these purchasing managers, owners, general managers, vice presidents who are attending this seminar, please pay to your small vendors. TACTASTE and HPMF did a survey wherein we realized that the smaller vendors are dying because their payments are not being done on time. So all of us will have to ensure that we start releasing those payments so those people to help us. So I would like to emphasize on that.
I think this is a ground reality which is very good that you raised it. And Mr. Nagrale, Jayashriji, please unmute your mic and please unmute your mic.
I did.
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. One very important point I would like to stress upon over here is entire countries together, no doubt about it. And one of the integral part or sector of the country right now is housekeeping. Yeah, because Swachh Bharat and green campaign, whatever Modi ji's proactivity, we are talking since many years. India is not behind anything. India is already on the way of leading in sanitization, hygiene part of it. But now, what is required over here? Am I audible?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, what is required over here? It's a need of the hour is this. For all my proud, professional housekeepers of the country, what we require is we require one standard guideline. See, mental health of the shop floor staff or the asset. As it is, as we all know, there is a lot of dearth for good housekeeping attendants. Now, with this fear, we are hyping it in such a way that housekeeping becomes a major department if something goes wrong. That fear should be removed. Housekeepers, housekeeping attendants, the entire comrades of housekeeping department has to be now given a backup support. That it's a teamwork, it's a team responsibility. We are together can achieve everything. So even the porters, even the stewards, anybody, entire staffing of the property has to take up the equal responsibility. Then when it comes to HR and training department, they have got a different, kind of a ball game to play the role. Because to train the housekeeping staff, to make them this job attractive, it's a very challenging. Everywhere only fear doesn't work. Passion has to be developed in it. Every housekeeper, every executive housekeeper has to be well trained with all respect, not only housekeeping. Okay, it's a fabric management, design management, because what is the need of that? It's a research. Associations like us, as Nitin ji rightly said, association like us, leaders like us, we all need to now get into experts, get into the research leaders, environmental science specialists. We need to help the government. Government alone cannot do anything and everything. The associations have to be like soldiers. We have to be an active soldiers and we have to fight within the country and we have to develop our fraternity together. See, but I must, one thing to tell over here, IHE has made an excellent initiative, wonderful format. It's a beginning. This beginning, see, first step of the beginning is always a 50% of the battle we have won. So I'm very sure with all of us together, including our IHE people like IHE, Aharways, many good supporters we have in the industry, and with Chefs Association, a kitchen stewarding association. Kitchen stewarding association now has to be in limelight because hygiene,
Absolutely.
sanitation.
I think we
So we
always
need to
ignore
work
kitchen
together.
stewarding,
So
Yeah.
what is my humble request is if IHE or any competent, the volunteers who can help the government is to put together all our industry leaders, put together
Right.
all the association leaders. Okay, let us do brainstorm. Let us
Right.
help the ground level staff. Let us not make them get confused.
Right.
And also this is a call or the request of PHA to all the business associates, all the
Right.
vendors of the country is please, you yourself keep your feet into the housekeeping attendant shoes.
Right.
Okay, talking about gloves, talking about
Right.
the mask. Many housekeeping attendants, you please conduct the interview. They say they're not comfortable cleaning with the gloves. Because of the fear, they carry gloves and they go inside washing the washroom. They may remove it and put it in their pocket. Let's do the search.
Right.
Let us find out
Right.
what exactly is practical. Develop something multi-purpose.
So, ma'am,
Every sector can use. Please
Right.
request all the research leaders to make the things very simple.
Yeah, in
As it is
fact,
housekeeping, so only 1 minute, I beg your pardon. As it is housekeeping is not something very, very attractive and something not very interesting people are looking at. But
Right.
we together now have to, as leaders, as corporate housekeepers, as the industry leaders, create interest. For
Right.
that, top management, industry leaders, including government, has to help us out.
Right, right. No, I think very, very useful suggestions from everyone. I will
Swareesh,
ask,
Swareesh,
invite
just,
Mr. Rakesh Kumar to please, the final words from you.
I think. Thank you very much, Swareesh, and thank you very much, Jayashree ji, Dr. Nitin Nagarale, and all the panelists. You rightly said that there is a need to have a standard that to be set up for this. In fact, there is need to have a common compliance code. So that it should not look like that one hotel is following X norms and then some of the visitors coming to the hotel, they find that hotel more fussy. They say, okay, why this is happening? But if that happens in all the hotel the same way, then it is a common compliance. So these are the minimum common compliance to be adopted by the industry. And this common compliance is the one that is to be basically the standard of the hotels. Maybe for any ex-hotel, SOPs can differ because for SOPs, to attain the standard is important. One hotel can have a different SOP. One hotel can say that they are using chemical. Other may say ozone or maybe UV rays. So basically, the fear factor of the visitor, that has to be addressed very well at this particular time. And as Nitinji and other panelists mentioned, we would be definitely willing to take a lead. IHE would be able to take everybody together. We have already some experience in this regard for standardization and making standards. A very important standard called world over 186 countries. They have accepted in a different field of the handicraft, that is the Vriksh, where illegal felling of the tree was there and the chain of custody was required for all the importing countries. So that EPCS did that. And similarly, there was some design infringement and the IPR was not perfectly possible for each one of the small people. We had set up a design register for over there. So similarly, some common compliance code can come here and we can set up the standard with the help of all of you. So thank you, Preeti Sharma ji. Thank you, Ish Madan ji. Thank you, our Khandelwal ji. We have Rajendra Mittal ji. We have many other stalwarts present today. And thanks all the participants who are with us today. Thank you, Swareesh. Thank you for a very elaborative discussion and a brainstorming session.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Keep safe, keep healthy. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rakesh ji.
Thank you.
Look forward, boys and girls. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Before we sign off, one last thank you to the 5 people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Mr. Sudeep Sarkar,
Yes.
Mr. Niranjan Singh, Mr. Tushar Gupta, Mr. Chandrasekhar, and of course there is Mr. Hari Dadu, whose
Adida.
support has always been very important for us. Thank
दादू जी
you, all
अगर
of
है
you.
स्क्रीन
Thank
पर
you
तो
to the
लाइए
team.
थैंक यू
Hari Daduji, thank you very much. Excellent.
Thank you, team, who
Yeah,
have
Thank you,
you're
everyone.
always there
दादू
to
जी
support.
थैंक यू वेरी मच
full.
Board.
Thank you very
Lovely
much
meeting you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so
for
much.
making us a part of it.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ओके
Thanks
Bye.
a lot. Bye. Bye.
Stay safe, stay home.
Yeah. Thank you.